The veteran winger has had fair share of battles throughout his over 10-year career, with two of newest teammates among the fighters. And this week would not be the first of its kind to experience. When Garnet Hathaway arrived from Washington last week, the two recalled their previous encounter as rivals, with a laugh or two of course. Marchand didn't expect anything different as he hailed talented and brave winger Tyler Bertuzzi, whom the Bruins picked up from Detroit Red Wings on Thursday morning. Garnet and I sometimes joked about playing against each other and all the fun we had. But I'm sure that will come up at some point, Marchand said at Warrior Ice Arena on Friday morning. Marchand and Bertuzzi had a memorable argument at TD Garden on December 1, 2018, which led to a massive offense in front of the benches where goalkeepers Tuukka, Rask and Jimmy Howard nearly struggled on the middle ice. "We didn't have many encounters," Marchand said. "There was one in Boston. But he's just a competitive guy. And he puts his heart on his sleeve and frankly, guys like him tend to be a little more interested in other players and than others. Which is fun to watch. He plays very hard and will fit our mold really well. He adds a ton of depth to our group. So I'm really excited to be a part of the team." Bertuzzi is equally eager to join best team in hockey, but it's a bittersweet transition for 28-year-old who spent first 7 seasons of his NHL career with Red Wings. "Yeah, Thursday was an emotional day," said Bertuzzi, who arrived in Boston around 8:30 p.m. Hit the ice for B's on-demand workout at the Warrior Ice Arena on ET Friday morning. "When everything got better, I was so excited when I landed here and I'm looking forward to being here. I'm grateful for this opportunity. Had an idea I would be traded in, but didn't. I don't know where he is, but I'm very, very happy to be here and can't wait to go. Obviously there's a special group here. I've met most of the guys, the coaches and everything today. So it's going to take some getting used to everyone, but I'm excited. I'm excited to be playing." Video. Bertuzzi meets the media for the first time. While Bertuzzi has had many pleasant conversations Marchand in the past, he only comes to Boston with Sudbury, Ontario native Nick Foligno and previous friendships Red Wings All-Member Grand Rapids Griffins and old sidekick Tomas Nosek, between 2014 to 16. "I knew he was a good man," Bertuzzi said of Marchand. "It's hard to play against him. It's hard to play against him, but luckily we are teammates now. Hopefully we can do this together." Bruins head coach Jim Montgomery said Bertuzzi will make his Bruins debut against the New York Rangers on Saturday afternoon, and will likely take over as a third-row left winger in black and gold. He said he will start, along with Charlie Coyle and Trent Frederic. Both Taylor Hall and Foligno are expected to be out of action for an extended period of time due to lower body injuries. Bertuzzi is also expected to see time in both special team units, especially power play. "I think he's an excellent hockey player. Someone who understands how to win," Montgomery said. "He's great complementary winger, going into difficult areas. A great net frontman. 5v5 power play. There's lot of sandpaper to him, as Bruins fans will tell from his discussion with our other sandpaper man, Marchy. The 1.80-foot, 197-pounder has scored 14 points in just 29 games this season after breaking both hands at different points earlier in the year. As such, it's been a frustrating and disappointing campaign for the Red Wings last season. After smashing career-high 68 goals, assists and points in 68 games, it was tough. "I broke one hand in the second game of the season and then I came back and broke my other hand 7 games later," said Bertuzz. "I mean, it's been bit of rough season. Then when came back I got little bit of flow and now feel lot better. I'm just trying to get past that and move on." Bertuzzi previously scored 21 consecutive goals in the 2018-19 and 2019-20 seasons. Hopefully I can score a few goals here and hopefully fit in well. Marchand good to go. Marchand is expected to play during New York Rangers' visit to TD Garden on Saturday afternoon. Although he left with a lower leg injury in second period from Thursday night's game against Sabers. "I feel as good as I look." "You get that?" said Marchand with a grin. "No, I feel fine. We were a little unsure of what was going on there. I hit my knee and just wanted to be safe." Montgomery echoed the winger's sentiments, saying the team had acted cautiously. Quote, "Saturday is a player," Montgomery said. "He's fine. He could have played Thursday night. We were just cautious in the third round." Montgomery said that with a tight 13-game schedule in 22 days starting March 9th, as well as 5 consecutive Saturday to Sunday games from weekend of March 11 to 12, team is discussing possibility of resting veteran players like Marchand, Patrice Bergeron and pre-postseason David Krejci. "Yeah, we talked about that," Montgomery said. "I know been talking about the issue. I've discussed this with both Bergie and Krek, and talked to Sweens as well. I think we'll start looking after the Saturday game along with the 4 days of rest. We're going to start looking at specific dates to target. After this weekend, every Saturday and Sunday, we travel back-to-back almost every time. So, if we can save on travel and miss a game and in the situation we're in, it's a very favorable position. So that's what going to look at." Video. Marchand speaks at WIA on Friday morning. No updates in Hall. Foligno. Both Montgomery Sweeney haven't given any further updates on the lower body injuries that pushed Hall and Foligno aside. They said nothing has changed in recent days on the promise that veteran forwards will likely miss for a long time. "Yeah, I think they're still evaluating. They're currently getting a second opinion on where Hall's would be with his lower body injury," Montgomery said. Foligno. "No updates. We just know it will take a significant amount of time. It's undefined in terms of the timeline." Sweeney added, "We have doubts we'll see them at some point in time down the road. But it's really unclear at this point." Sweeney acknowledged that Bruins were a bit lucky that injuries occurred before line, which helped facilitate a deal with Detroit for Bertuzzi, which would help fill void left by both players. "Honestly, in some ways, we were lucky that these injuries occurred before today, because you were able to pivot a little bit," Sweeney said. "It all happens Saturday. Of course you hit the board. You're in a bit of a mess. But you've got your fingers crossed. No doubt, everybody does. We were able to come back because we put ourselves in a good position to get into the playoffs and seize an opportunity. It's discouraging for them because the timeline is really uncertain. We've been lucky with Brad. Now he's scored twice here this week. And it's hard to replace top players at this time of year. You can't do it after today. Reaching the deadline. Sweeney acknowledged that the Bruins continue to discuss more moves before 3 p.m. on Friday, ET trade line, but ultimately didn't want to mess with the league's best team too much and sadly didn't take any further action. So you never know what other teams have to offer when you get close to the line. And there were definitely some things we thought about, Sweeney said. But we've had some moving parts in the last 10 days if we're going to dig further. We were aware that we were doing it for all the right reasons and that it really suited us, wasn't disruptive. Obviously, Tyler, Saturday, has a chance to get on our roster and get used to it. We're very pleased that Dmitry Orlov and Garnet Hathaway are coming and being a part of it. Be aware of all that. Video. Sweeney speaks following NHL trade deadline making progress. Sweeney highly praised Jakub Laukos play after the rookie's 2 goals against the Sabers on Thursday night. The 22-year-old player has 3 out of 12 games for Boston this season, and 10 of 34 games for Providence. He scored 3 goals last year. It was a tough year. He would admit that, Sweeney said. And now you can see his confidence. The work he's put in. And it's a winning opportunity. Boston GM also received high praise from assistant general manager Jamie Langenbrunner, player development coordinator Adam McQuaid, and player development assistant Danielle Marmer for their work in helping Lauko move forward. This is really a tribute development team. That goes all the way to Jamie Langenbrunner, who worked with him at Providence before this year. Adam and Danielle talking about it. Coaches at Providence definitely deserve a lion's share because they work. I communicate with these players every day and keep their morale high, Sweeney said. Jakub is just one example here. But there are a few more. He would admit that he left last year. He never thought our club would come out of camp. You have a new coach. You had a clean slate. He left, he won the game. Thursday. We continue from there. We'll see if we're too healthy to get into the lineup. Saturday. But he's gotten himself into the mix. Video. Lauko scores 2 goals. Bruins beat Sabers 7-1 battle with the blue shirts. The Bruins will get their first look at the new-looking New York Rangers on Saturday afternoon. The blue shirts have added wingers Patrick Kane and Vladimir Tarasenko ahead of the trade line and look poised for a deep playoff run as they battle for their Metropolitan Division position. Carolina leads the league with 86 points, 1 ahead of New Jersey and 7 ahead of the Rangers, who are 3-5-1-8-9 with 79 points in 62 games. New York lost 5-3 to the Ottawa Senators on Thursday and are 5-4-1 in their last 10 games. Yeah, I think it's exciting, Montgomery said. I know from our perspective, we're excited to play Rangers, the original 6, with both teams revived for playoff drive. It will be another opportunity to see where we match up. Wait, there's more.